What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I've had quite a few people reach out to me over the last couple years asking for a little bit more clarification on the Quattro swap video that I posted. Mostly asking for the wiring explanation for the second sending unit for the fuel system and the measurements for the brackets that have to be welded in, and then how to do the coding to get the instrument cluster to read correctly. So like I stated I think I stated it in the Quattro swap video, if you do not add the second fuel sending unit, your gas tank will read half a tank until you get down to empty, and then it will read empty when it'll still read empty correctly, but it'll never read a full tank unless you put the second sender in there. If you're using a Quattro fuel pump, if you're using a front wheel drive fuel pump, it'll give you an incorrect reading because it will be reading the resistance in the sending unit is different. So it will actually be reading what it should be reading for a front wheel drive, which is only one sender, and it will fluctuate way too much, and it won't read correctly. But if you put the Quattro fuel pump in there, or no, I think I'm wrong. I think the Quattro just doubles the resistance is what it is. So it has to have that second sending unit. Hell, it's been so many years since I did this, I honestly can't remember. But I'm pretty sure that the way it works is I know that the way that it works is it combines the two resistance readings in both of the sensors. So you have to have both sensors in the car in order to get a correct fuel level reading in the vehicle. All you have to do to get that correct fuel level reading is add the fuel sending unit and take the two wires that are coming off of that connector. One of them should be brown and yellow. The other one should be purple and black. Brown and yellow, you just hook to ground. Find a good ground, or you can bridge it into your original wiring harness into the brown and yellow wires that are in your harness. And it will, that'll be your ground. But verify that brown, because this has been several years, so brown and yellow may be power. It may just be solid brown that is ground. But I'm pretty sure it's brown and yellow that is ground. But I know the purple and black wire, regardless, if you're not hooking it into the harness, you can just run it to ground on the side of the car and put a freaking sheet metal screw in there and freaking screw it in. I don't like doing shit like that. I'd rather hook it into the harness. But if you're just looking for a quick way to do it, you can put a ring terminal on the wire and just screw it into the sheet metal, as long as it's got a clean metal surface to touch, no paint. And then run the purple and black wire from the sending unit all the way up to the instrument cluster and hook it into the blue connector that I'm getting ready to show you. I'm also going to show the wiring diagram that explains what you're adding. And then I'm going to jack the car up. I've got, 3 Quattros here right now. So I'm going to jack one of these cars up, and I'll actually get the physical measurements for the brackets for the center drive shaft support. That way I can quit getting messages, people asking me what the measurements are, because I honestly don't remember them. I did this so many years ago. And I posted the video 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. I don't remember. And I did it like 4 years before that. So it's been like 8 or 9 years since I've done this Quattro swap. But it was really easy when I did it. Just time consuming. And then the coding, I'm going to show how to recode it with Rostec. Now, if you don't have Rostec, I don't know what to tell you. That's what I use to do all my work on my B6s. I have an old K2 USB cable that I use for all my B6s. And then I have a new X tool, which is, I don't know what it would be equivalent to, like a Snap-on diagnostic, or there's a really popular one, but I can't think the name of it. But it's a scan tool for modern vehicles, and it uses CAN and K-line and everything. It can scan every vehicle from freaking like 2025 all the way back. But that's what I've been using for my B8. But for everything that I do on the B6, I do with Rostec, because I've got the K2 USB. And I'm just too cheap to buy a new Rostec VCDS cable for the newer models. I'll eventually do it when I get my R8. But it's probably going to be another 6-8 months before I buy an R8. So I won't buy the VCDS until I get the R8. Or the updated VCDS until I get the R8. But anyway, I'm going to show how to code this thing, show the wiring diagrams, and then I'm going to get underneath the car and get measurements and give you all the measurements. All right, guys, so since everybody's asking or been asking what the correct wiring for the secondary fuel cylinder on the Quattro swap is, if you look right here, the first one, G6, here, let me scroll up. So G6, or I'm sorry, G is the fuel cylinder, and G169 is the fuel cylinder gauge 2. So G right here is the original cylinder with the pump, because G6 is the pump. And it hooks up to T32 pin 3. G169 is the secondary one that you're adding when you do the Quattro swap. And that little asterisk means that it's for all-wheel drive vehicles only. So what you need to do is you need to run one side of that fuel level sensor to ground, and the other side will be a purple and black wire, and it will run to T32 pin 11. And T32 is the blue connector. T32A is the green connector that's on the back of the instrument cluster. So I'm going to go pull an instrument cluster and show you what connector I'm talking about now. All right, so in order to remove the cluster, you just come in right here and grab the front of this, and it will pop off. So that just slides out. You've got a screw down there and a screw down there. This one doesn't have a minute, so I can actually pull this cluster right now. So I'm going to get this cluster to pop out. So there, the cluster is out. All right, I'm going to slide the steering wheel all the way forward and all the way down. Now I should have more than enough room to get the cluster to come out. There's little clips on the back of here that you got to pop loose to get them to come out. So I'm going to pop those loose and then I'll show you the connector. All right, so these are the two connectors. You got a blue connector and a green connector. The wire that you need to run goes into this blue connector, and in order to open it up, you have to cut that zip tie right there, and then the entire connector will slide out the end. So you pop that little purple part off, you got to slide it down, and then the whole center of this pops out. So the purple part slides up that way, and then the whole white connector slides out the end once you cut that zip tie. And then you're adding a purple and black wire into one of the pins inside of here. All right, guys, so now I'm going to show you how to recode the instrument cluster to read the correct fuel level. So you're going to hit select control module. You're going to hit 17 instruments, and I hit freaking immobilizer. It's going into immobilizer, damn it. All right, so now we're going to go into 17 instruments. And I've got the key on, so the key's on. I'm just going to go in here into coding. And then it's going to pop up with a thing that tells you. Alright, so if you look at this, it's going to tell you the codes right here. So this is going to be the first two digits. With all-wheel drive, you're going to add 01 to it. So whatever your original coding is, you need to add 01 to it. So now, typically, I get rid of the seatbelt warning, which is 02. This one's coded to 03 200. I would code it to 01 and then 200, because 2 is United States. Seatbelt warning. Okay, seatbelt warning inactive. That's what I do. But that's seatbelt warning old version. So that one has to stay active. This one you inactive, and then it doesn't beep at you when you don't have your seatbelt on. And then this, I just leave this the same as what it is originally. I've never messed with the variant. So really the only thing that you need to do is you need to change your coding to add 01 to the beginning of your coding. So if your coding is like mine, but say it's 02200, you would need to make it 03. If it's 01, well, then it would already be correct. If it's like if you're in Australia, So Australia, it would be 08 plus 01. So it would be 09. So yeah, you just got to see whatever your coding is originally and then add 01 to the beginning of it. And then, so all you would do is just add it in and you would type in the new number. And then you do your workshop code. And workshop code, you can just do 1, 2, 3, 4 or 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then once you're done with that, you hit do it. And then it'll pop up and you just click OK and then it'll be done. And then you close controller and go back. And then go back again. And then you cycle the ignition switch off. Cycle it back on and then just recheck it to make sure your coding is correct. And as long as your coding looks good, you're good to go. All right, guys, so I'm underneath the passenger side of the car. Right here is the bolt that's holding in the center brace or the center bearing for the drive shaft and the heat shield. That bolt goes through both. And the bracket is directly underneath here. So the center of that bracket, I'm gonna measure it to back here to the back wall. And then I'll measure from the center of that bolt to the center of this subframe bolt and give measurements for both. All right. So I'm gonna leave this running. You may not be able to see what I'm doing, but I'm gonna leave it running while I measure. So this first one, from there to there, is going to be roughly 11 1/4 inches. And then if I measure from the center of that bolt to the center of the front subframe bolt for the rear, I am at 36 1/2. So 36 1/2 inches from that bolt over to the front subframe bolt, and 11, what did I say it was? 11 1/4. Well, it's showing right at 11 to the end of the heat shield. It's like 11 1/8 to 11 1/4 to the body line. All right, everybody, that should solve all the questions that I've been receiving over the last couple of years about the Quattro swap. Really hope this helps anybody that's trying to do the swap. Apparently, a lot of people have done it off of my videos, or off of that video. So I really hope that this helps any of those people that are still struggling with some of those issues, or if they haven't been able to find the answers on forums or whatever. But if you have any other additional questions about the swap, feel free to reach out. When I did the Quattro swap, I did see somebody had asked what it cost when I did the Quattro swap. I bought another car that was wrecked, and I bought that car for $1,000, and I swapped all the parts over, and then I sold all my extra parts off of the front wheel drive. So I sold the front wheel drive transmission, I sold all the interior out of the car, sold the doors out off the car, the hood and all that. So it really didn't cost me any money. I actually made money off of selling the parts off the car. So I did it actually as a profit. Unless you count my hours of labor, then it would be basically a wash. It would be basically zero. If I was charging maybe about $50 an hour, it would probably be about a wash. But anyway, I did the swap for no money out of pocket, except for I did the initial cost of buying the car, but then I made money as I sold parts off of it. And I just had time in it. And but yeah, hopefully this helps clear up those remaining issues. And if you have any other questions or anything, just reach out. I'll try and address them as I can. And appreciate y'all checking out the channel. Like always, if you like what you saw in this video, or if it helped you out in any way, please like, comment, share, subscribe. Let your friends see what I'm doing. And I'll catch you in the next video. Have a great one.